All right, everybody. Are we back? Let me just wait here. We're back. Okay, I I need to be honest. I went to click my mouse. Some sort of button was grazed, and I think it turned off the whole stream. So we're back. Whew. But so I still see the super chats. Don't worry. Yeah, man, wow, that was a strange moment of grazing a button. So to continue with the stream, where I was leaving off was, one, thank you, I'm Not Nicole, for 13 months. That's incredible. Really, really, really appreciate it. And Kelby, I was just starting to look at your super chat. Thank you so much. Jamie sitting there like nothing happened was so weird to me. It's like he enjoyed the drama he caused. I was hoping Michelle took his rose. Yeah, I was wondering if that would happen too. I don't think there's enough Jamie footage. I'll have to double check all the preview stuff for me to know right off the bat that Jamie stays, more than next week. And I was wondering during the episode if it would be a retracted rose situation. Because I do remember there's one shot from a past preview where Michelle is looking really mad and she's in the outfit from this episode and she's looking at Jamie. And I thought, no, there's no way. Because we had already seen in the previews the part where Jamie sits down and talks to her and says, there's someone, this shot right here. And then I thought, there's no way that Jamie, who we've seen on a one-on-one date, is the one that she's actually looking at there. But I think it actually might be. So there might be some more footage that we haven't seen that goes on here. Still, it could be something that they pull out for another couple episodes. I mean, we saw some producer picks tonight. So, either way, Jamie's gone for sure. Jamie's gone for sure. Peter's gone for sure. Will's gone for sure. I mean, we can talk a little bit about how we break down and get down to a top 4 of the guys. And right off the bat, you just look at the preview. You look at all the people who aren't in solid one-on-one date footage from the previews, from the preseason preview, and you get down to 8 guys pretty much right away. Just strike off anyone who isn't in a solid one-on-one date shot, isn't in a bunch of drama or anything like that. Boom, get down 8 guys right away. And now this is not the top 8. I'm not saying top 8 right here, but these guys are what's left. Now we can immediately cut out Martin here is someone who he's in some one-on-one date footage, but I'm not taking it just a little bit. I don't see the connection. Don't see it happening. We can strike him out. Jamie now for sure we can strike out, and we've got 6 guys left. Over on the other end there, we've got Nate, Joe, Rick, Rodney, and Brandon, Clayton. That sounds to me more like a solid top 6. Might not be, but yeah, no, Jamie now, it's not happening. And I am not Nicole. Thank you for your super chat as well. I'm late. Anyway, I hate to say it, but gasp. I didn't watch it with all my focus. So I have no idea what happened, but hey, liars bad, honest people good. Okay, good night. Thank you. I am not Nicole. Thank you for dropping in. Really, really appreciate the super chat. The 13 months. Thanks for being a part of the channel. And now we're catching up to the part where I pressed a button and deleted the stream somehow. I don't know, why is that a thing? Anyways, maybe there's an end stream hotkey or something. But Kaleidosaurus, thank you for the super chat again. 1, loved Michelle leading with the apple bit. 2, could they be downplaying Clayton footage because they don't want us to fall too much for them as a couple? That would it's an interesting point you make. Like, they don't want to hype up the romance, but I don't know, make us feel like Clayton is not ready to be the Bachelor because he's still too connected to Michelle. Yeah, I would imagine if I were editing this and I was given footage and you know, create a season and with the knowledge that Clayton is the next Bachelor and they want us to like Clayton, that I would not be like having him in no parts of an episode. Like, I would not be doing what happened tonight and cutting out footage. I mean, there was stuff with Clayton that was left out. I think in this, like, in the role of the slideshow kind of going on the back here, there's Clayton footage that I thought was going to be in the show because it was in all the previews, but it wasn't. And I think there needs to be a delicate balance between, they need to build up a romance because the romance with Clayton and Michelle is what's going to hook us into liking Clayton. But yeah, they can't make it seem like he's heartbroken and destroyed too much. But yeah, I honestly don't know what they're doing. We do know that they are going to have a one-on-one date at some point. And there is a crying shot of Clayton later. So there is some investment that's going to happen, but you know, I don't know. I'm wondering what they're doing. Why aren't they having a little more Clayton time if he's going to be the next Bachelor? Because yeah, there's one person said Clayton is boring, and part of that could be that Clayton is just boring. Part of that is that they've shown no Clayton. He got his intro package, episode 1. He got his entrance, and that's it. Then like one shot of him before. So I don't know. I'm certain we will get more, though. I'm certain we'll get more. So yeah, he could be great. We have no idea yet. We truly don't, because they've not shown anything. But okay, it's 10:27. Just FYI, if I'm looking over on the side, it's because I'm looking to see if we have a preview coming out. Before it came out on Instagram, and if it comes out on Instagram, I'll check it out. The preview that they released at the end of the episode. I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for if they've dropped it yet. Just FYI. Yes, and there is a lot of other Bachelor Nation news that's happened as well. We can talk about it. I've created a new little segment here where we can talk about it. Maybe this is a good time before we get into the preview to enter our new segment. It is Bachelor Nation News Hour for the week. Bachelor Nation News of the Week. You can tell it's serious because I put on glasses for this. All right. Cut the music. So, welcome to Bachelor Nation News. If you haven't heard this week, tragically, Katie and Blake, they've broken up. Scene here is Aunt Lindsay saying, "I told you so." Yes, Katie and Blake have broken up. Pretends to be shocked. I think they lasted not as long as Juan Pablo and Nikki. It didn't work out. Sad news, it was announced. And I'm starting to, I hate to say this, everybody, I'm starting to believe that the process doesn't work. I'm really, I really hate to say it, but I think maybe this process doesn't work. So that's one of the big news pieces that came out just this other day. I get, like, on one hand, it's, you always root for a couple. If couples are seriously engaged, these people have gotten engaged, you hope the best for them, and I don't know. There was a lot of messiness at the end there. I guess we'll hold our breath because the tea always seems to trickle out slowly but surely. So, and thank you, Shannon, for the for the super chat. This is all just to thank you for literally all of that just now. Thank you for the support. So if you didn't know, there you go. But however, there's more news. While one engagement breaks off, another forms. Coincidence? Former host Chris Harrison is now engaged to Lauren Zima. That happened as well. One sacrifice needed to be made for this connection to be completed. That happened. It was announced. Chris Harrison, by the way, his Instagram is completely wiped now. Just two photos. Him and this is the first photo, by the way, and then there's another one of him and Lauren. And he didn't use a Neil Lane ring. Neil is betrayed. So Chris Harrison is engaged. Chris Harrison, no longer host of The Bachelor, but he's engaged. So he's doing that. And last but not least, there was another sighting, potentially, of Dale and Claire. However, if you've seen this picture going around of Dale and Claire together, I don't think it's them. I don't think it's them. The Dale and Claire thing kind of like flies up and down. But I don't even know if this is Claire. Like, but I also definitely don't believe that's Dale. So that's been going around. Maybe it is them. I don't know, but based off of this photo, I don't think it's them. So there you have it. Your Bachelor News of the Week. Turn off the music. Turn off the music. Stay tuned for more Bachelor news in the live streams to come. But yeah, no, I definitely don't believe that that's Claire. and Dale. But okay, we can talk. Let's see any more updates on the preview stuff. Maybe not. But worst case, we can go a little bit into some of the eliminations for next week. Now we saw tonight. What was it? Alec here, I think Alec here got eliminated. I couldn't tell you, but we definitely saw Pardeep go. Gosh, I have no clue. I need to check the notes. But men that we are looking at next week for elimination. Gonna have to check the footage on this one, but we can immediately take out anyone who's not in this photo right here. We get a better look at some of it, but you can see on the side, Rick, Martin, Rodney. I think one of the guys is Milhouse. Milhouse, a.k.a. Chris, maybe. But Chase, or sorry, Casey, gosh. Casey here is there as well. Casey right here. Clayton, Joe, Brandon, Nate is in the middle. Two other men, hard to identify for sure. I had marked them as one of them as maybe Leroy and Illumide. We know Illumide makes it to Minnesota for sure. So we can single out someone like LT here. LT, is that someone who's going to go? We're going to mark that person down. Alec, Pardeep, PJ, and Daniel went home. Yes, Daniel, I was sure of. So Chris G, is Chris G in this photo? Chris G, another one we're looking at. Not sure if there's much preview footage of him anymore. There is a shot I can maybe find, see if I can pull up. It's them on the airfield date. That's coming up next week. And there's a whole group of men on that date. A group date. But that I guess that's a something that's going to happen before elimination. So that's not too useful for us. But Chris G for sure. I think if not next week, it's happening soon. We've already got one. Maybe Jamie as well. Jamie is a possibility. I'm gonna look to see if there's any for sure footage of him lasting further than next week. I don't know if there is, but I don't want to promise anything that I can't keep, because for all I know, there's gonna be one shot of him in the background or one date shot that I'm missing. LT, and we'll see if Peter and Will make it past Jacket Gate that's coming up next week, where Peter throws Will's jacket into the pool, and I mean, like, guys like Romeo and Spencer here. I think there's a shot of Spencer face palming. It's actually in the stream over part here. Not that the stream is over, but so he will. I think he'll last. But these are also men who are on the outs. So, do you think Peter made the lasagna pizza? Yes. Yes, I do. But, yeah, Pete... I was going to say... No. Jacket Gate is next week. I'm looking forward to that, too. Looking forward to that, too. No preview up on Instagram this week. That's fine. That is A-okay. A-okay. But at the end of the day, one thing that we can talk about the finale. The finale with Michelle and her final rose location here. This is something that I was talking about in my last preview breakdown. And we have here Michelle's final rose location. We know that obviously she starts out in Palm Springs. At some point she goes to Minnesota here. A lot of people have been posting all over my other videos about the different locations that Michelle and the gang are at. In Minneapolis, in Minnesota, all that kind of stuff. They're there for a while, and then there's this at the end, and this is not Minnesota. So we are looking at dates like this with Brandon, and starting to wonder. Okay, if she's here, you think it out. Like, if she's here, she's left Minnesota, then she has hometowns. Hometowns are allegedly going to be at actual hometown locations. They're going to be traveling. And so then there's hometowns. Someone gets eliminated. We're now then at a new location. Probably here, you would assume. So this beachy location, yeah, Bachelor in Paradise Beach, could be Mexico, and here, and here. Locations with Brandon. So you go, all right. However, I wanted to talk about this huge conspiracy. Take a look at Brandon's shorts and another date with Brandon in the same shorts. However, Michelle, 2 different swimsuits. Now, we get some other footage from the previews of Nate in these orange trunks in 2 different date shots, 2 different spots where Michelle is wearing 2 different swimsuits, again, just like this shot here. And also, if you look in the corner, a shot of Nate from his Instagram account in Austin, Texas. Two different dates where the guys are wearing the same trunks, but Michelle is wearing 2 different outfits. Is it that Michelle changes outfits halfway through both of these dates? Or have Tayshia and Caitlyn stolen everyone's trunks in order to throw off our sleuthing? Let me tell you, it might sound crazy, but how do I point? Maybe this whole Ryan stuff was just a diversion. Look at this photo right here. Ryan, Ben Higgins, Bachelorette Becca, all in the same room. Look, the evidence speaks for itself, people. One thing that was interesting, though, a few people have wondered if this shot right here is potentially a hometown. I'd gotten some comments on the last video comparing the Austin, Texas Instagram photo to this. Some people wondered if this date might be in Austin. But either way, dates. Conspiracies. You tell me. So, long story short, this is all kind of pointing to, we've got Nate, Brandon, seem like solid endgame picks. Joe as well. Don't know about that fourth spot. So and I joke, but it is weird that we have two dates where seemingly Michelle either changes halfway through or they're two dates. They're two different dates. And speaking as a dude, I could totally see another dude going on this show and just bringing one pair of swim trunks thinking, well, like, I'm not going to go in I'll go in the pool. Maybe I'll go on a date. And they do really limit the kind of stuff you can bring. So that, yeah, a number of people saying Lake Travis in Austin for this right here, hometown date. I buy it. And like, it just feels easy as well to like consider Nate being in the top 4. I mean, it feels easy because of the preview footage and the presence that he has in the previews and the edit he kind of is getting. It feels good because of this, you know, like this looks like some strong evidence. You know, can't confirm it with 100% accuracy, but like when all this kind of stuff comes together, the evidence feels overwhelming. Like, this person's gonna make it, and you just like, you cut down these men. Nate's one of the guys. Just seems to make sense to me. Just seems to make sense to me. Put an X on Jamie. I might as well put an X on Jamie because he's gone. He's basically gone. But yeah, no preview yet, unfortunately. But I think at the end of the day, we still have there's not a crazy amount of stuff to go through for next episode's preview. We've got the date with the airfield date coming up. I can probably pull up some of this myself here. Airfield date. We've got the Jacket Gate stuff coming up. That's going to be fun. I've got my database of preview shots here. Worst case scenario, we'll look at the one of the older previews, and we can kind of go through that. Let me see if I can pull up some of it here. So this date's coming up. This looks to be the group date where the jacket stuff goes down, and because we can see Will and Peter are on this date. So at the night portion of the date, that's when it's going to go down. And that looks to be the big kind of focus of next episode. But yeah, no. Jamie, obviously, he's around for a whole nother episode. I don't know if he'll last though, but we'll talk about that in the preview breakdown. Because I don't want to confirm anything without double checking. But we see this stuff, this drama here all the time. Peter, Will, jacket in the pool. That's it. And Alicia, thank you for the super chat. So far, Clayton seems okay. Thoughts? I don't have a lot of thoughts on Clayton because they've not really shown Clayton. I'm kind of surprised how little. Maybe they're going to vamp that up closer to whenever he gets eliminated. It seems weird how little we saw of him this episode, especially when there was stuff from the previews, this basketball date that happens with Clayton that they left out. Here, I know I have footage of this. Here. This, they had sections from this group date with Clayton where he's doing stuff. There's I think there's stuff of him dancing too. Here, whole sections with Clayton that could have been hey, look at how great this guy is, get us liking him a little bit. A cut from the episode. And I see Katie saying they're protecting him from the drama. I think there is parts with Clayton where he's in the previews. He's talking to Nate here about being an actor, or he's talking to someone about being an actor. So there's I don't know what's going on with his edit, to be honest, right now. Maybe that'll change. So I would imagine they're doing everything possible to make him likable, especially if we're going to be entering the territory where Clayton's not going to be in the final 3. For sure. There's just no room for him over Nate, Brandon, oops, wrong button, Joe, right? Or it's the most secretive Bachelor preview footage ever. So typically, once we get to this sort of place, you're looking at the top 3, and one of these guys is going to be in contention for the Bachelor job, barring any weirdness. But we already know that's been filled up. So you better hope that once we get to this position, one of these 3 guys, or Rodney or something like that, or Rick, maybe, but really one of these 3 guys, you better be hoping that people aren't going Joe for Bachelor, or Brandon for Bachelor, or Nate for Bachelor, and that they're going, okay, Clayton for Bachelor. Really like that idea. And they have complete control over the edit. So you got to start working on it at some point. It's better be soon, because say Clayton gets out before hometowns. It's only so many episodes. And yeah, someone say they can stay. They can tell whatever story they want. They can edit it however they like. But the fact of the matter is that it's been announced by Jesse Palmer has announced it, the host of the show. That's about as official as you get, apart from him coming out on the After the Final Rose and saying it's me. Or Tasha and Caitlin saying it's him. But yeah, and there's a whole saga of apparently Greg was it, and apparently Andrew was it, apparently Michael was it, and there's a lot of people saying these men turned it down, or we don't know. Maybe Greg turned it down. Maybe Greg was going to do it, and then they saw people's reaction. Didn't like that. But, we will never know. Well, we may know for sure, but we won't know for sure for a while. Contracts. So either it was they're in a rock and a hard place, or I don't know. Apparently Blake. Yes, apparently Blake. Apparently Tyler. I had heard Tyler's name thrown out too. I didn't trust that entirely. Tyler Cameron from Hannah Brown's season. But I heard that name thrown out there. So, yeah, Tyler Cameron's busy doing the the SNL thing. Justin, why was Justin ever considered?
No. You have no one to put on blast.
Should have been. Yes. I've got my dog Jackson here yelling at me. We're gonna wait another couple of minutes for the preview. And if it's not out, the preview breakdown will be out. I promise. And we'll get the full lowdown on everything that's going down. Last week they posted it on Instagram. They haven't done that. Haven't done that this week, unfortunately. Let me double check Twitter. Doesn't look like it. No. Doesn't look like it. But we'll wait right till 11. And if it's not up, unfortunately, we gotta go to bed. Jackson's giving me the eyes. And Alicia, thank you for the super chat again. Really appreciate it. So far, Michelle season blank out of 10. Fill in the blank. That's really hard to analyze. I'd probably safely put it at like a 7-8 so far. I'm excited. It seems to be fitting a more standard pattern. I'm really excited about the traveling, especially with the sleuthing. And really excited about that. But yeah, it's way too early to tell. So, preview's up on YouTube. Just in time. Alright, what do we got here? Let's take a look. And Trevor Beast, thank you for the super chat. I'm pumped that Brandon got the first group date rose of the season, even if his spelling was inaccurate. Let's go, Brandon. Absolutely. It seems to be something that like Bennett was that the grown ass mandate that Bennett was on, and he did really well, and he spelled like limousine wrong or something. Brandon too. Seems to do well. Where is the preview? Where is the preview? By the way, let's can anyone what? It's not on the Bachelor.
So I've got my essay.
Thank you for that. It's yeah, it was weirdly not showing up for me. All right, let me get this going here. There we go. Thank you for that. All right, just in time, just in the nick of time, we've got the preview up here to do some last minute live sleuthing. Came up right at 11. Maybe that's the new deal. Perfect. All right. Get the setup. And we can go through some sleuthing before we head on out. Just a short little, nice little preview for the episode. Here we go.
I don't really know who to trust right now.
Are people really being genuine and authentic?
I'm ready to do whatever it takes for Michelle.
All right. So immediately, first thing I see,
Taste for Michelle.
we've got Rodney getting the one-on-one date next week. This is something we also talked about in the previews. Rodney is there's like some footage of him like giving Michelle a tattoo or something like that, and we see Michelle in the same outfit right here. So this is we can cross off one of the dates that Rodney goes on. However, we can now also think about this date. Oh, that's the wrong photo. There's a different date with Rodney in the apple orchard. Let me pop up my backup here. Boom. So, now I'm immediately feeling a lot more comfortable with Rodney in the top 6, potentially top 4. So, now I'm going, maybe not Clayton and Rick for top 4, but Clayton or Rodney. So Rodney's on an apple orchard date, believe it or not, and this is not the same date as what's coming up, because the apple orchard date is also a something that Michelle talks about in a poem on an upcoming group date. She says, no one would take me to the apple orchard, or they would only, they'd pick me first for basketball, but like these other dates, that's not the kind of, no one would do that for me. So now I'm a lot more comfortable with Rodney by that fact, because we can also even start to go down a rabbit hole of, is this potentially a hometown date too? Maybe not. But if Michelle is talking about the apple orchard stuff, then we're going, okay, does Rodney take her on an apple orchard date, because this is a date he would control, potentially, his hometown date? That would be a gesture. There's also, gosh, I need to find it now. It's somewhere deep in here. A prom date. By the way, this is the other shot that we've talked about in the previews. Here. So there's another date with Joe that looks to be a prom date. In the other preview, something else that Michelle talks about is not being invited to prom. So we could talk about maybe that being another hometown date, because if Rodney is taking, theoretically, Michelle on a hometown date to the apple orchard, talking about the thing that she mentioned in her poem, maybe Joe is doing the same thing. And these are also things that, like, yes, this might have been Rodney's idea to take her on this apple orchard thing, because it's something that she mentioned in this poem, but it can also be producer pushed as well. Like, the producers say, we want you to take Michelle on the apple orchard date because she mentioned not being invited to apple orchards in that poem. We think this will be very poetic, and it will also score you big points with Michelle. Then they go to Joe and say the exact same thing. Take her and do a prom date. Here it is. Prom date with Joe. Either way, this is another date with Joe of multiple. So, feeling a lot more comfortable about Rodney now.
I'm ready to do whatever it takes for Michelle.
They're all putting their hearts on the line.
Oh my gosh.
So, yep, group date as we talked about earlier. This at the Palm Springs Air Museum in the last preview breakdown. If you check that out, we were able to spot this this plane. It's on their website as well. You know, it's pretty easy, but it was important to figure out for our preseason sleuthing because we didn't know exactly when this group date would be. You could pretty much tell, but it confirmed that it was early on. We're gonna see it next week, and there's some drama ahead. This is the group date where the Jacket Gate stuff is gonna happen, but yeah.
They're all putting their hearts on the line.
Oh my gosh.
I feel on top of the world right now.
This is our journey.
YouTube bot.
She brings out the absolute best in me.
You feel like you can trust me?
I do. I could see myself falling in love with one of them.
So, looks like we've got rose ceremony, group date, same group date, even though this little moment with Martin kind of looks like potentially could be a one-on-one. Michelle's in the same outfit here with Clayton as well. Rodney gets naked for some reason. YouTube bot's going to be angry at me. But, yeah, this, it's not the big thing for me. Maybe Martin or Clayton could potentially get a group date rose.
Brings out the absolute best in me.
Falling in love with one of them.
It's so crazy. There's just not really a competition between me and the guys that are here.
How did he think he would get away with this?
What the dude?
I'm gonna keep exposing.
So there's more of that Jamie stuff. Who's he talking to here? Looks like Nate here is maybe talking to Jamie. Looks like it's Jamie. Either way, it's gonna get exposed. And if Jamie gets a rose next week, I think it's a producer rose, and no matter what, he's not going to last very long. So this is all rose ceremony kind of stuff. Whatever goes down, it seems to be happening at the rose ceremony. If we're looking at Jamie here, I mean, this could also be Will as well. Could be Will, maybe. Really hard to see, just this little bit of blur right here. Yeah, and now that I think about it, because it's good to always think about it, this reaction here could also be Nate reacting to... Nate reacting to the jacket stuff. I don't know. And then now that I think about that, isn't Nate on the date? It's a rabbit hole. We're gonna look. We're gonna deep dive into it on the during the preview breakdown.
I'm gonna keep exposing you.
This man is really push my butt.
He's manipulating us and her. Do you see how hurt she was? Did you see that?
It's one of my favorite parts of the the previews.
Exposing you.
This man is really push my butt.
It looks like they also have a classic. They gotta have the fighting competition
He's manipulating us
part of
and
the
her.
date.
Do you see how hurt she was? Did you see that?
To me, I'm thinking this is everyone's still dwelling on the Jamie stuff. So he'll get confronted. I have a feeling that he's not gonna last. He's not gonna last. I just
Did you see that?
he's not in much of the
Trust
previews
is
on it.
something that makes
But I mean, we can also take a look at this shot right here, and probably, spot him at some point to make sure. But I'm mainly looking at this shot here right now to see if we can nab a view of any roses. Because you would think that if there was a rose handed out, we'd be able to see it on one of the jackets. Doesn't seem to be. I'll take a good zoom. There's also someone down below here. And who knows if they black out one of them, because sometimes they've done that too. They've blacked out faces, things like that. We'll double check.
trust is something that makes or breaks a relationship.
It is absolutely sick.
My jaw's on the floor.
In one instance, it can come crashing down.
Yeah, so they don't show it here, but we've got the jacket business happening. Either way, we can, talking about roses, we can eliminate all these guys. They're not wearing their rose. Rodney gets a rose. That's about the only one we know for sure right now. So there you go. There you go. The preview breakdown for the moment. But looks like some entertaining stuff. The jacket business coming up, and Jamie's possibly going home. So we're gonna look deeply into this preview, suss out, see if there's any roses to be spotted, and go into eliminations, full details on what might be happening. Will Jamie be going home? In the preview breakdown on Thursday. Tomorrow, the recap for the next episode is coming out. But thank you all for joining me. It's time now to end the stream. Yes, and let's end the stream on a kind note, everybody. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for being here and for chatting. It's time to get some nice rest before the recap comes out tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Keep your eyes peeled. And lots of content is on the way. And until next time, Bachelor Fan Take out.